Not a Tuesday, but we still got our guy Pat Surtain on, number 2 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. Pat, what is going on, my friend?
What's happening? Another week.
Another week. Broncos are back. Pat's back. And, man, the vibes are amazing because of that big Kansas City win. We're going to jump into that. We're going to jump into some bye week stuff, maybe a little Halloween party that you guys had, and then also preview Stefon Diggs, Josh Allen, and how you guys get this huge win on Monday night against the Bills and former teammate of yours, Von Miller. But first, I said number 1 on the field. Pat, everyone in Broncos country has known that you're the best cornerback in the NFL, but someone else recently said that you're the number 1 cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah, Pat, I'm curious. Did you watch the Chappelle Show ever growing up?
Yeah, I watched some of it.
So you would appreciate that A.J. Brown hit you with the dial-on. He said top 5 corners in the NFL, PS2, 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 and PS2.
Hey, man, that's greatly appreciated, especially coming from a guy like him. So that means a lot.
So is A.J. Brown just he's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well in terms of wide receiver?
I don't know, Pat, is he?
He definitely is. He's definitely in that category for sure.
I mean, what he's done, has it been 5, 6 straight games of 125 yards, or did that break this past week?
I actually don't know, but he's like the Jokic of NFL wide receivers. Like every game you look up and you're just like, how does he have that many numbers?
Yeah. It's really true. But he did 125 yards for 5 or 6 straight games, maybe even 7 if he did this past week. Pat, what is the equivalent for a cornerback to do something like 125 receiving yards in like 6 straight games?
See, with cornerback, it's different. It's different. I say it's like if you hold receivers under 30 yards every 5 games. Like, I think that's a good stat line for a corner.
Is that like a number for you?
Then you add like the interceptions in it through certain parts of the game. So okay. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I'll give you that stat line.
Is 30 like a good number for you where you're like, if I hold my guy under 30 yards, that means I clamped him?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Especially in this day and age, in this game of football. It's like, you know what I mean? Everybody could pass the ball now. So if you limit like a top receiver, top target to under 30 yards, that's a big-time game.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of big-time games, you and the defense against Patrick Mahomes, 0 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes the last time you were on the field. 0 touchdowns for the Chiefs' entire offense. How difficult is that? I mean, we all know from an outside perspective, that rarely happens. That's only happened to Mahomes 7 times in his career where he's been held without a touchdown. But from a player perspective, just how tough was that feat?
Yeah, it's very rare that you see that, especially with their offense. But, going in towards the week, we knew we had to do game plan wise. And like we mentioned before, playing them 2 weeks prior before that game, I just think that helped a lot because we was really keyed in on, fixing the little things and making sure we're on top of, personnel, alignment and assignment. And we just had a good game plan going in towards that week. So, us as a defense, that's the type of standard we hold ourselves to. So, it's only the beginning. So, it's just a good start and a great game from us.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see that because obviously the defense kind of struggled, maybe not all the way up until that Chiefs game, the first one, but pretty close to it. And so you have that game, and then to back it up and do it a second time, that to me is just like, it's impressive. It's kind of it's like proving it when you win a game of pig or horse or whatever. I don't know. I'm curious if you think that they did anything all that differently in the second game, or did it feel like just an extension of the first game you played against them, or were there big changes or differences that you noticed?
Yeah, I think it was just an extension. It was stuff we was familiar with through the course of the game. Obviously, you have those plays where it's just like, it's a football play. Like, Pat would make a great throw over the middle, and it's like, dang, as a defense, there's nothing you can do about it but just move on to the next play. But I just feel like collectively, we wasn't surprised by anything, flustered by anything. We was just on top of things. And I just feel like going in towards the week, we really studied and honed in on those little things that, we struggled with early on against them, and we really locked in and prepped on that.
Obviously, you had a few matchups with the Chiefs before that one, but your teammate Justin Simmons had played them a lot of times in his career and hadn't gotten over the hump. I'm just curious if that was extra special for you guys, for him, to have that game-sealing interception, to get the win over the Chiefs, to finally get that as a part of his career.
Yeah, man. I know Justin, Garrett Bowles, those guys who's been here for a while, they haven't gotten over that hump of beating the Chiefs. I knew that was a pretty surreal moment for them. But the crazy thing about it is, even how excited we was, Sean, he mentioned that we shouldn't be surprised by it. Like, this should be the standard, winning big time games, especially divisional games like that. So, it's good to secure a win finally over the Chiefs, but, knowing what this organization could build on and knowing what the type of talent, the type of team we have, it's expected, to win those type of games. So.
I love that. And speaking of one of your teammates that got an interception in that game, JaQuan McMillen. You called him yesterday, Pat,
Yes,
when you talked to the media. You called him a game changer. When did you realize that, oh man, this guy can play? I mean, was it that pick against Patrick Mahomes to start off the game, or did you notice something before?
No, I noticed this since his rookie year in training camp. You know what I mean? Because, obviously when you go into training camp, a certain amount of guys, you don't know how they play and this and that. But, as soon as he stepped in, he was, balling out. He was making plays left and right. And next thing you know, I'm in the film room and I'm looking. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he had a streak where, there was a certain amount of days, certain amount of weeks where he haven't allowed a completion on him. And that was, something that was eye-opening because – usually when you see somebody, come in, step up, they probably struggle with some things, but he came in locked in and ready. So, when I seen him making plays on Sunday, I wasn't surprised at all.
And then, Pat, after you said that JaQuan was a game changer yesterday, I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, he was an undrafted guy that plays inside. Then you have a first-round top 10 pick in you on the outside. And then I thought back to the no-fly zone with you had Chris Harris, who started off inside, undrafted guy, and Aqib Talib on the outside, who's a first-round pick. And I thought, why? This is such a similar position. Do you have any idea why outside corners are valued no one else outside of the quarterback position, while the inside guys, or the slot guys are valued like one of the least in the NFL? Do you have any idea why that's the case?
I don't really know. I feel like a valuable nickel is just as important as a valuable corner in the structure of a defense. But I don't know why. Maybe because of the personnel. Sometimes when you're in base personnel, nickel won't be out there. I don't know, but I don't know the notion behind it, but who knows?
It's probably because someone like Pat has to go up against the number one wide receiver on the outside, whereas on the inside you're getting, slot receivers against slot corners. But with the way the NFL has changed, a lot of times you're getting teams lining up their guys in the slot. You're getting Debo matched up in the slot. And it's funny because, we used to have Chris Harris on this show, and he used to always talk about that playing in the slot is harder because you got to be able to, you got to cover the in-breaking routes, you got to cover the out-breaking routes. They can go anywhere on the field. With JaQuan, is it It's one of those things where he showed it in practice so many times that they just couldn't help but get him out there on the field?
I mean, yeah. Obviously, he was battling it out, competing for that role, but we knew J-Mac was really, a very pivotal part of our defense, just by what we've seen in training camp and in preseason. So it was just only a matter of time until his name was called, because, injuries happen in the NFL. Then you got a lot of adjustments that's made throughout the course of the season. So when his name was called, obviously I knew what he was going to do in big-time games. So it was just only a matter of time for his shine to, come to fruition.
For me, I think one of the words that is so important for a corner is consistency. And I think you have been a model of consistency since you got into the league. But there's a lot of times these young guys who burst onto the scene and they have a couple good games or whatever, but it's hard for them to keep it up. For him, what is the challenge of keeping it consistent, and what do you do to stay so consistent on the field?
Yeah, I think the challenge is staying the course. Do what you did throughout those weeks when you had a great game and just build on it the weeks forward. Because, each and every week along the line of the season, it gets harder and harder. The schedule gets tougher, especially in November, December. That's our, crucial games for the season. So, just prepare the right way. Practice habits, study habits, I believe that's key. And that goes with me as well, too. The reason why I have stayed so consistent in my career was just, chiming in on the little things, work by work, detail by detail, making sure I don't miss a beat, each and every day I step on the field. So it's just little things like that will help elevate your game.
So when we're done with this, I'm actually going back home and writing about JaQuan. So I've got one more JaQuan question that I want to ask, and then we can move on from JaQuan.
He's looking for a juicy quote here.
Bro, I just want
going in print.
What's he like off the field? Are there any stories that you have, or any moments that you remember with him, in the locker room or going out to dinner, or whatever it might be?
Not like J-Mac. He low key. He calm. He's laid back. That's just his personality. But he also he talks a lot as well too. But I could say he's laid back. Not much. You ain't gonna get too much from him. But he's a cool guy to be around.
Well, and Pat, we're going to ask you about some of your other teammates because there's a little Broncos Halloween party, and I got to say, you went all out on that. Want to ask you about that after I tell you about our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing. If you need a roof over your home or business, call our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing. Visit them at redhawkroofing.com. Tell them the DNVR sent you. They've got quality materials, decades of experience, quick response time. They are huge DNVR supporters, and they have a free, no-obligation roof and property inspection and free in-depth photo reports for all of your inspections. So check them out at redhawkroofing.com and tell them DNVR sent you.
Also, check out Hero Bread. Have you tried it, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's it like?
It's fire.
The tortillas.
The tortillas are legitimately life-changing.
A tortilla.
Even if you are someone who loves tortilla, you consider yourself a tortilla connoisseur, wouldn't you want tortillas that had very low carbs in them? If they tasted the same?
Yeah.
Everyone should want that.
You would think.
And there you go. That's what they have. Their tortillas, you would not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
If I give you a blind taste test right now, you wouldn't be able to know which one has 0 to 2 net carbs.
Well, I don't know. He all he does is eat quesadillas at McDonald's, so he actually might be the one person that can tell.
Let's put it to the test.
Let's do it.
I'm down. But yeah, Hero Bread, they've got all sorts of different products. It's not just tortillas. They've got sliced bread and different buns, burger buns, hot dogs, all these different things, and they've got other perks too. So they're low carbs, some of them no carbs, less than 100 calories, high fiber, no sugar, a whole bunch of protein in them too. So if you're looking for some better bread for you, then Hero Bread is the answer. And right now, if you head over there, you can go to hero.co and save 10% with the code DNVR.
Speaking of hero, let's bring back our guy, Pat Surtain, hero in the secondary for the Broncos. So, Pat, the Halloween probably couldn't have fallen at a better time for a Broncos Halloween party. Not only right after beating the Chiefs when the vibes are as high as can be, but right during the bye week, right before everyone left. I mean, it was like the perfect storm. And so you guys took advantage of it. And, I mean, I got to say, there were some pretty impressive outfits on there on social media that went around. Costumes, okay, yeah. Well, I don't know. Jerry's like, he has an outfit to go along with his costume.
That's a costume. That's a good one, too.
I guess, Pat, Pat had an outfit. He also had a full costume. So you went with the Avatar look, is that right?
Yeah, Avatar look.
I mean, I shouldn't say look. You went with like,
you were
an Avatar. Yes.
Like the full shebang, everything. Like, we had a makeup artist like come and do everything, like body paint and stuff like that. And it took like 3 hours. Then I had to like, that's like a wig I had on with the braids. Then I had like all types of accessories with me, and it was crazy. We went all out for sure. But why not though? Halloween you're supposed to go all out.
What inspired the Avatar costume?
I mean, it was just something that just sort of just happened. We was like, okay, Avatar. I think that'd be a good one, but Avatar, you can't like downplay it. You got to really go all out. You know what I mean? Give out the full effect, the full look. So, that's what I had to do.
I think I remember in the movie when they were doing that pose in Avatar.
Nah, this Avatar behind the scenes.
Man, Coach Prime hangs out with Avatar. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who had the coolest costume? Obviously, I mean, besides yourself.
Let's see. I ain't gonna lie. There was quite a few good costumes. Jew came out with the Pennywise look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was terrifying.
Let's see, Russ with the Prime. Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of good costumes out there. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay,
It's
so
hard
now
to keep up with.
let's throw some of your
Chucky.
teammates under the bus then. Who had the worst costume? Or did anyone just show up like costumeless?
Yeah, Alex. I don't know what Alex was doing.
Oh no, that was my costume.
But Alex did tell me he ordered the costume, but it didn't come in on time. So,
I've used that excuse so many times.
I give him a bypass.
He's I wouldn't have known this unless my wife made me be this. She's Justin Bieber there. It's Justin and Haley Bieber.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's pretty weak.
Okay.
I contend that Russell Wilson. I contend that Russell Wilson didn't have to buy any new things for his costume. Like, he might have already had that hoodie.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him wear that cowboy hat before. He didn't get like any special Coach Prime sunglasses. He just had regular sunglasses on. So while he got like the look in general, he didn't. I don't think he actually put much effort into it.
And he probably has the most means to do any sort of costume.
That is true.
That is true.
You could be Coach Prime right now.
I don't have the Coach Prime.
I mean, you have a CU sweatshirt on.
What are your socks like? Oh, I can kind of see them. No, they're not the white ones. You need the white ones
I'd have to
pull 'em
go
up.
white ones over this, and then
I guess you could borrow mine.
I just need the Coach Prime glass. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least get the actual Coach Prime sunglasses that are for sale.
Right.
That is true.
What are they called again?
I don't know. I only know Shady Rays.
Well, there we go. I like that.
Also,
Who's that right
Todd
there, City?
Yeah, that's Jared.
That's a pretty good one.
Going with Elvis, yeah.
Todd was saying that he didn't wear costumes to the team Halloween party. First of all, I don't know if I believe that, but also that can't be allowed, right, Pat?
Was not allowed?
Todd was saying he didn't wear costumes to the
Todd
team
Davis.
Halloween party. Yeah.
Oh, I ain't know that. I don't know if that's true or not.
There's no way.
Yeah. Unless if he ain't want to put a costume on.
I guess you could be a Broncos
Yeah,
player.
Halloween, you're supposed to have you supposed to go all out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Did you see anybody go as Pat Surtain? I'm sure there was like a kid somewhere who dressed up like you.
Yeah, there was a few people that mentioned me in my stories. I posted a few of them, so yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool seeing that repping the jersey. So
When was the first time that you noticed someone dressed as you? Like, did it ever happen in high school, or was it when you got to Alabama, or did it wait until the NFL when you were seeing kids dressed like you?
it started in Alabama,
Yeah.
in Tuscaloosa. I seen a post with a kid with my jersey on. He had like the helmet, the chin strap, the pads, knee pads, thigh pads, cleats. Yeah, he went all out. So
That was
yeah,
actually
that's like
me.
the first
That
time
was
seeing
me.
it. That was you?
Yeah, that was me. Maybe I can meet you
What you doing in
someday.
Tuscaloosa?
I'm speaking of Tuscaloosa. You made your way to Tuscaloosa for Alabama, LSU. A couple of days later, after that Halloween party, were you just there for the day to see your Tide roll?
Yeah, I went to go support the Tide, man. They having a pretty good season so far. Obviously, it was a big convincing win for them. So going out there, going back to the old stepping grounds in Alabama, it's pretty cool to see familiar faces back there and being able to support them. So
All right, so when are you a bigger deal in Tuscaloosa? When you're on the team and you guys are undefeated and winning, or when you come back as an NFL superstar?
I think when you're on the team, you get a little bit more love. Like, cause you're there present, you get to experience, all the fans and, what I mean, the school experience. But I feel like when you're away, obviously they show love when you're away, but it's just not the same. You don't get that mutual type of, type of feeling from the experience. So.
All right, Pat, you talked about how the season's only going to get tougher from here. Yeah, you
Wait,
got
I have one more
Yeah.
on your time in Tuscaloosa. You know how like NBA players, when they come down the tunnel, sometimes they're like sending a message with their outfits?
Yeah.
So was the jacket that says "A wolf will never lose sleep over the opinions of sheep" a message to someone somewhere?
You talking about a jacket?
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly that quote. It said it was a wolf will never be a pet.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
mean, so it changed it up a little bit. I think because I went on college game day, I had to put it on, put it together. If I was just going to the game, I would have put on sweats like a Nike Tech, some Air Maxes maybe, you know what I mean. But since I went on national TV, I had to present myself differently.
can I borrow that jacket to be Pat Surtain for Halloween next year?
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
It's hanging up in the closet right now.
All
Just
right.
let me know when you need it.
I love it. And so, Pat, you mentioned how the schedule's only going to get harder. November, December, Bills coming up. And for you specifically, Stefon Diggs this coming week. Then Justin Jefferson. He was just activated from the injury reserve just a couple of minutes ago. So you got those two coming up. But let's focus on this next game, Bills game. What makes Stefon Diggs such a good wide receiver? It seems like regardless of if the Bills win or lose, he's just putting up numbers every week.
Yeah, I think he's very crafty in his routes. Obviously, when you have Josh Allen, that helps a lot too. But throughout his career, I can see how efficient he is in his route running, and a very underrated part of his game too is his yards after the catch. His ability to make explosives and make nothing into something. So, he's a great player all around, and it's something that we gotta hone in on for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious, having played Patrick Mahomes a couple times in the past few weeks, and now facing Josh Allen. Obviously, both of them have big arms and they're pretty mobile. But what is the biggest difference between those two that you see?
Biggest difference? I say Josh Allen. I mean, they're both risk takers, but I say he's a little bit more. Um, he's willing to allow his receivers to go up and make plays down the field. Sometimes in double coverage. He's just willing to make those big time plays because I think it goes to show the trust he has in his arm ability. And sometimes it doesn't go well for him, and sometimes it does. I just feel like he's a risk taker, and that's the difference between them two. So.
So then, Pat, because you don't get targeted probably as much as you want in order to get those opportunities for interceptions, do you prefer going up against quarterbacks that are maybe more risk takers and will throw the ball your way a little more?
Yeah, definitely. It gives you more opportunity to make plays. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I like when the ball comes your way often. So, and I know this week is going to happen often. So, it's a very exciting week.
All receivers want the ball, but some receivers more than others get upset when they don't get the ball. Do you take pride as a corner when you get to put a receiver in position where they're on the sideline saying, "Hey, what the hell? Give me the ball."
Yeah, I think that's a great game as a corner. When the quarterback don't look your way, when you don't get no balls thrown to your side, you're doing something right. So it may not show up on the stat sheet. You know what I mean? When you have a quiet game as a corner, that's a good thing. So when you able to frustrate the opposing team receivers, that's a great thing as well too.
Can you feel it too when they're starting to get frustrated, flustered out there on the field?
Yeah, because then the offense is going to start force feeding and try to force things to happen. And usually when that happens, their whole game plan go out the window. So, when you're a corner and that happens, you're doing your job.
Man, I'm seeing this game unfolding in my head right now. Maybe an interception, and receiver gets upset. But something that we're going to see on the field for the first time ever is Von Miller playing against the Broncos. Now, Pat, obviously you guys are on the same side of the ball, so you don't actually go up against each other. But you were Von's teammate for half a season before he was traded, your rookie season. What was it like being a teammate with Von Miller? And do you have any stories, maybe like the first time you met or heard from Von, or any Von stories?
Yeah, man, Von he put me under his wing as soon as I stepped in the building, and I could already feel like the impact he had, in the locker room and in the organization in the city of Denver. So, having a guy like that on your team, it was huge, especially from a leadership standpoint. He's just a tremendous leader out there, a great teammate to have around, and when you got a guy like that on the field, it ups your play as well too. But I always remember Von saying he was president of my fan club. So that was some stories, man. And I was like, man, because I always watched Von, like him being the Super Bowl MVP, him making plays year in and year out. And when he said that, I felt pretty inspired. Like, damn, that's crazy coming from him.
Well, I lied to you, Pat. That wasn't actually me dressed up as you for Halloween. That was Von dressed up as you. I could actually see Von doing something like that. And he turned his house, his basement, into, what was it, Club 58?
Yep.
Is that what it was called? Club 58, where, for years, that was the place, as you know, Pat, where players would go during the week, after games. That would be the place. Pat, I know you just bought a house. Are you thinking of turning your basement into Club 2 and having that be the place for the Broncos guys to go?
I ain't got the basement space for that, man. I ain't gonna sell myself short before I even think about doing it.
That's fair.
That's probably like years ahead.
I'm curious what you think of playing on Monday Night Football. Like if you could, would you play on Monday Night Football every week, or is it kind of annoying knowing that changes up the schedule so much from like this week you have to push everything back, next week everything's kind of rushed?
Yeah, it gives you a longer time to prepare, I could say. Yeah, there's like pros and cons to it. You know, pros is a late game. You get to study longer, you know what I mean, get your bodies back. But then next week you're right back into it. You know what I mean? It's like a quick turnaround. So it's pros and cons to it.
Without giving away any of your secrets, when you have extra time to prepare, what does that allow you to do? Like, you know, if it's a Thursday night game, okay, I got to do this. But if I have all the way till Monday, I can get all the way into this.
See, that's the thing. Thursday night games be brutal. I mean, cause you got a limited time to prepare. Then you just finish the game. The next thing you know, 2 days later, you traveling. You know what I mean? Or you playing the game. You know, in a few days. So I don't know. Thursday's games is very tough on the body and mentally, but you know, it's something we have to do. You know, honestly. So that's the downfall of it.
Pat, speaking of this game coming up and Von Miller, one of the great mini quotes that Von had was, I can't, talking about like junk food. He said, I can't put
Well, he had missed practice because he got food poisoning.
from, wasn't it like eating cheese sticks in a movie theater?
Mozzarella sticks at the movie theater. So he said, you can't put 85 in a Lamborghini or something along, or in a Ferrari.
Yep, in a Ferrari. And then Todd Davis was with us yesterday, and he said, man, playing in Buffalo, the hotels aren't as good because it's a smaller place, and the only food you can find there is buffalo wings. And I said, well, that doesn't sound too bad. And he said, well, I can't be putting that 85 in my Ferrari body. Do you view your body, what type of car do you view your body as?
What type of car?
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of horsepower in me, man.
That's a Broncos pun. I like that.
Yeah. I say like a Ferrari.
Yeah, that'll work.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, you really can't.
You know what I mean? Ferrari. But believe it or not, I probably use unleaded. You know what I mean? I ain't the type of guy that use premium fuel in my tank. You know what I mean? I use everything.
I think Zach might be a Prius.
Oh, I'm a Prius.
I think if I had to pick one.
Wait,
just so efficient.
Yeah,
you know?
I need Pat to tell us what cars we are.
Get him in trouble.
Or we can go through the schedule and he can tell us what car every team is that they're playing. That'll get him in trouble.
Speaking of the schedule, so I brought this up. I think it was your first show on here. But Justin Jefferson is on my fantasy football team.
Oh my god!
And just because I know like next week's gonna be fast, we probably don't get to have you on next week. I should probably bench him in that game, right?
If you want to do what's best for your team.
Okay, good.
I love it. I was hoping that was the question that Pat was just gonna hang up the call on like he did last time.
Just like
that
last
would have
week.
been perfect.
Hey, well, last week though, I said watch out for Samori Toure. What happens? They throw a ball up to him at the end of the game. PJ Locke picks it off. The Broncos win.
You're taking credit for that?
I'm absolutely
You're
taking
saying
credit.
because you said watch out for him, they were ready on that play.
Absolutely. That's
See,
exactly what I'm saying.
I saw a pretty weak attempt at a contested ball that was easily intercepted and thought Hernry was wrong about this guy.
No. Also, so this week, Latavius Murray, he's going to be back. He's running the ball for the Bills. The Super Bowl, he told me, if you're trying to break a tackle, low man wins. So Pat, just want to say, if you try, if you try to tackle Latavius, he's going low. That's going to be the strategy there. And if you make that tackle, I'm taking credit.
Oh man, Pat, I think that's enough Hernry that you can handle today. But thanks so much for joining us. It's just awesome to have you on today.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all again for having me on the show.
And I think we're going to have some PS2 shirts in stock soon. So make sure to check out the DNVR lock. You can find it on Pat's Instagram. You can find it on our Instagram as well if you want to get one of his shirts because those are coming in soon.
I'll hit you up about that jacket in like 355 days.
Let me know. Up for sale.
There we go. Right on, Pat. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right, y'all.
All right, see you, Pat. Okay, Hernry. So you said I'm a Prius. What's Ryan?
Ryan is, wow. Let's see. It's definitely fast when it wants to be. I think it's just like the motivated Ryan is really going.
What is a motivated car?
I think of like a Mustang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
I
there's
think of myself as more of like an Escalade.
Okay, yeah, there's some of that too.
Don't those get like broken into a lot?
I don't know. My car literally got broken into this weekend.
Oh,
It did?
no.
Yeah, so thanks.
Where was
really
it?
bringing up a sore subject. In the garage of my apartment complex.
That's the worst.
Oh no.
Yep.
My old car was stolen twice. Once for a day and another time for a week.
Wow, a
Yeah,
week.
Wait.
a week.
And then like the police found it, or they just brought it back. They're like, this thing
Yeah,
sucks.
exactly. No, crazy enough, one of my old neighbors who was a policeman just found it like down the street from him. And he like noticed that it was a stolen car that had been abandoned, looked in, found like the registration, was like, oh, I think I know these people. Let me just like call them. Yeah, so very weird. But sorry about your car.
Yeah, man. The worst part is they broke in. There's nothing in there. Like, we're pretty good at not leaving valuables in our car. The only valuable things I leave in my car is my golf clubs. And like, no one is going to steal golf clubs, I don't think.
Because it's like
It's
specific.
just, what are you going to do with them?
Can you
You could sell them,
right?
but like, I live in downtown
Yeah.
Denver. The people that are stealing stuff out of cars aren't like bringing this back to their house and putting it on eBay. You know what I
they're
mean?
not.
right.
So, like, they didn't take those. All they stole was a tripod out of the back of the car, which was like an $80 tripod. So the most expensive thing they got was the window.
Wow.
But they didn't like
Well,
take
it's
the
not
window.
like
They
that's
just
what
broke
I
it.
mean. It's like
Yeah.
you broke. So like now this is gonna cost me $500, which is like just above my, or like just
Yeah.
that's my deductible. So
Yeah.
you're not no point in making a claim.
Yep.
$500 for you to get a tripod that you have no idea what you're gonna do with it.
I think Zach might be more of a Tesla than a Prius.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll definitely take that.
Yeah, like it's an
thank
upgrade,
you.
but kind of in that same line, you know?
I'll take that for
That's
sure.
definitely an upgrade.
Henry's been driving the same car the entire time I've known him, so I
True.
can't see anything but his car when I think about it.
2015 Nissan Juke. Also, there's a debate going. One guy says I'm a clown car. One says I'm an 09 Ford Focus with hail damage. A Geo Metro, which I had to Google. Not a good car. Roof comes off.
But
on
you're
some of
saying
them.
you're a Cadillac.
You're definitely not a Cadillac.
It's one of those things where like it's like a negotiation. You
you're
got
going
it's like
high.
if I want $100 and they're offering me like $5 right now, it's like I need like 1,000.
Yeah.
Just got to
Okay,
recruit
so it's got to
something.
be like a smaller car.
Reliable, good at what he does, but nothing flashy.
Okay. I like it better than the hail damage things. See, that's why I push for Cadillac. I'm a Lamborghini.
Yeah, there you go. Now you fall to a Cadillac. I see what you're doing. Someone around me owns the exact same car as Henry.
I'm thinking like a Subaru.
Oh, wow.
Very it's might be too
Popular?
Colorado.
Popular.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, he has Montana.
Outdoorsy.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors owns the same car that Henry does, and it's always parked like right outside. And every single time I see it, I'm like, what's
Henry
Hank
came
what's
over.
Hank doing here? And then I realized, no, okay.
The
that's
crazy thing about that car is it was the last year that Nissan made the Juke. And so the resale value is like shockingly high.
It's also not a very good car.
Also,
I mean,
Henry.
I'm kind of with you on that, but then you look at like if I were to sell it, I could sell it for like 85% of what I paid for it like 8 years ago.
That's pretty good.
I know, which
So you're
is
saying you have
insane.
a collector's car?
Yeah.
Henry
did you
definitely doesn't have hail damage. Like as far as people that I know, he's the least damaged.
Physically,
probably
emotionally? What?
Yeah, that's what I just feel. I don't feel like Henry's carrying around a lot of damage.
I'm a shiny Camry.
Brand new,
You go to the car wash
Wow.
often.
fresh off the lot.
I actually do need to go do that.
Speaking,
Like Henry never does something, and you're like, "Oh, who hurt you, Henry?" You know?
That's
That is
true.
true.
Speaking of shiny, if you have a shiny car, you need Shady Rays because it's just
Ooh.
going to be so glossy if you get it cleaned all the time. And if you want to get Shady Rays, we're going to give you 50% off 2 or more pairs of Shady Rays. And the awesome thing about it is, let's say you do walk outside and there's hail and they get hail damaged, they're going to give you a new pair for free. And
That would
30
be wild if their
days.
hail was so bad it damaged your sunglasses.
And that you are, I don't want to say stupid enough, but if the hail's that bad and you're looking up into the sky where it can hail damage your sunglasses,
Ugh.
that would be bad.
You've made some really bad decisions.
Yes,
That
you
is
have.
true.
But they're gonna hook you up with another pair for free, even if you just get them and you're like, man, these don't fit my face as well as I thought. But you don't want to blame your face. You want to blame sunglasses. They're going to
Hate
give
when that
you
happens.
a different pair for free within 30 days. So check out Shady Rays over at shadyrays.com and use the code DNVR to get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. We love Shady Rays, but also 250,000 people love them because they have over 5-star reviews by 250,000 people. So check them out, shadyrays.com. Use that code DNVR.
So the picture I saw of Pat's jacket, he had his arms crossed, so I just had to fill in the blanks, and I just missed it.
Man, you tried Jeopardy. No, not Jeopardy. Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, all I saw was a wolf will never. And then I just figured the rest was lose sleep, and on the front, and then on the back, I assumed it said over the opinions of sheep, which I was just so wrong.
Wait, what did it end up saying? Because I looked at that picture for a
wolf will
while.
never be a pet, which is also kind of a bar.
It
Oh,
is.
that's dope. So you're saying he can like never be tamed?
Yes.
And that's true for any individual wolf. Over time, though, I mean, that's
Why didn't you explain this to Pat?
we don't have time for evolution with Pat.
Well, they are now because of Game of Thrones. I don't know. They like wolf dogs have become more popular, which is like a hybrid.
Yeah.
How cool.
Kind of like Zach the Prius.
Tesla.
But apparently these things are
Thank you, Henry.
incredibly difficult to tame because they are part wolf.
Yeah. So
people like,
Yes.
like just random college kids who love Game of Thrones are getting wolf dogs. Or maybe it was, what's the vampire movie?
Twilight.
Oh,
Twilight.
people-
Yeah, maybe that's what started this, which makes it even worse because of that Target demo.
Yeah.
And so then like young girls are getting wolf dogs that are
Yeah.
like 3 times the size of them, and they're just taking over their house. And wolves, if you don't show them that you're the alpha, they will just be the alpha. So now they're just like ripping people's houses apart.
Oh my
So back
gosh.
when up in Montana, of course, when I was in preschool, there's like this lady who has a wolf dog, and it's whatever, like 75% wolf, 25% dog, or whatever. And I can't remember.
I'm just gonna let you keep
I
going.
was like 4 when this happened. I can't give you the exact details. I'm sorry, but so like every year she's like comes in and all the kids get to like see the wolf dog, and it's like, hey, look, come. This is what a wolf is like. And it's like partially dog, but it looks like a wolf. So yeah, fun story. I guess.
So it was nice though. It was nice to the preschoolers.
It happened every year. I don't have vivid memories of when I was 4, but it kept coming back, so it couldn't have gone too poorly.
I went to a wolf sanctuary. There's one in Colorado.
right.
It's sick. And they were like, oh, look, the wolves are really friendly. Like, if you want them to like you, you just have to let them lick your face. Like, if you
Yeah.
pull away, they'll just think you don't like them, and they'll move on to the next person.
Oh,
And then they're like, the only other rule is, like, don't touch their butt. They just don't like that.
Huh.
Some guy, he's just in there letting it lick its face, goes in to scratch the butt, and it, like, made a noise that I was like, if I was that man, I probably would have just shit myself.
new pants.
Like, just like a real deep growl.
Oh, as it's by its face, right?
Right, exactly,
Oh
right
my
in your
gosh.
face. And like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just like, oh my God.
There's one rule, dude.
one rule.
Wow.
2
And if-
rules technically, but
If you guys want to see a wolf, then the Minnesota Timberwolves will be in town March 29th.
we're still doing reads.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
And for $31, including fees, you can be in attendance to see the Nuggets play the Timberwolves. Or if you don't want to wait until the end of March, which is when the Wolves will be here, you could actually go tonight. It's kind of boggling my mind that the Warriors are in town and you can get in, including fees, for $64.
Wow.
That's
It's because of the
insane.
8 o'clock start.
Yeah, I mean, but
We as a society are just becoming more and more washed. Everyone is complaining about 8 o'clock starts more than ever before these days.
I
know.
agree. Also, with that becoming washed, our town is literally becoming washed right now with the rain. I wonder if rain will also drive those prices down. Like,
Yep.
it's getting
Oh,
colder
yeah.
throughout the day. Like, I know snow does that, but I wonder if we're just getting even more washed
Yeah.
where rain will drive those
Just
tickets
keep
down.
waiting. I was this morning. It's like a 5-block walk to Starbucks. So I like had like a hoodie on, some shorts, and I get outside and I was like, it's raining and cold, and it was like the worst walk ever.
I have
But-
to.
Oh yeah,
You were just last point on Wolves and the
Yep.
Timberwolves. That Timberwolves Brazil account has made me exponentially more interested in the Timberwolves because I'm like, oh God, what are they going to post now?
I don't know that account,
Yeah,
but I
what?
love that you just like speak
What are
like
you
it's a
You guys,
the Timberwolves Brazil account.
everyone else knows the Timberwolves.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a Timberwolves, like a Brazil account that follows the Timberwolves?
So it's like, we have like Broncos Brazil.
Yeah, it's one of those for the Wolves.
It's that, but
Okay.
it's Timberwolves
Oh,
Brazil.
yeah.
And they post the most unhinged things ever.
Wow.
I think it's fake.
You think it's fake?
Yeah, because so in the name, like when it pops up, it says Timberwolves Brazil with like an S instead of the Z, but in the handle, it is a Z.
Brazil, that's how they
Exactly, but
spell it in Brazil.
in the actual handle, it's a Z. So if this was really a Brazilian,
It doesn't matter if it's real or fake.
it's still out there.
It's unhinged.
I thought it was like I don't know. There's my
And
conspiracy theory.
They after every time the Timberwolves win, they post like a just completely unhinged, wild video of like some AI wolf thing
Oh
doing
my gosh!
Oh, God.
Wow.
Oh,
terrible
wow,
things.
yeah.
And so then every night the Wolves play, I'm like, all right, I got to check to see if they won,
What's
so I
gonna
can go
happen?
look to see what this
But
account.
they're silent if they lose.
I actually don't know what happens when they lose.
So do you kind of cheer for the
Some
Wolves
guy
to win then?
quote tweeted it yesterday and was like, I stay up every night wondering what this account is going to post if the Wolves ever win a championship.
Oh gosh!
Yeah,
Wow.
just looking now. First of all, I want to take back. This is definitely Brazilian because it's all in like Portuguese. I
Okay.
don't know what it's saying, but the graphics are strange. And I'm curious what it says on top. It says amigos, so I know that word.
So we told people about game time.
Yep.
DNVR.
Oh, yeah, code.
Yep.
Just DNVR?
You have it up.
Well, I did, and then I went to the Brazilian Timberwolves. $20 off if
Yep.
you just have DNVR as the code. It's a great deal. Use that tonight because this is going to be a fun game. Jokic is going to have to score like 50. They don't have anybody who can guard him because Draymond's probably out anyway. They're all small. There's nobody big on that team, and Jamal Murray isn't playing. So it's just going to be Jokic going at the basket every single time.
So I don't. You mean Jokic just will score 50, not he has
Yeah.
to?
No. I mean, he just will. If
You know what's crazy about the Warriors?
what?
Guess how many players on their team this year have scored 20 or more points just once in a
Oh.
game?
How many players or
Yeah,
how many
on the-
times it's happened?
Either.
Individual.
Whichever way you want to answer.
One time.
You think only one player has scored 20
I don't
or more
know. The way
points?
you're saying that just made
Well-
it seem like it was easy to count.
Steph is like the only player better than Jokic this season in terms of like the metrics and all that. So I'd imagine he's doing a lot.
Okay.
Klay Thompson has probably done it as well.
Okay.
And I'll say that nobody else has because that would. But sometimes you do that thing where it's just a very
It's
normal
true,
number
it's
and you try to
true.
get me to say
I
something
got
dumb.
so many
37.
times this past
Yeah.
week at the Broncos game.
So I'll say those are the only two who've done
Okay,
it.
that was my guess. Ryan was right. One. Only
Wow.
Steph. So
Klay
talk about
hasn't.
talk,
Oh
talk
my
about
goodness.
a guy just carrying a team. So I don't know if Jokic has to have a big game as long
Okay.
as like they don't let Steph just destroy him.
So just so you know, my follow-up question, your answer was wrong.
My answer was wrong.
Because I said, how many times has it been done or how many people have done
you're
it?
right.
And you
that
said
did.
either
yeah,
one.
Yeah, you're right. No,
Which in
because
that
Steph
case
has
would mean
probably
Steph has only done it once.
yeah. They
Either
probably
one.
wouldn't be 6-2 if he's only done it once.
Probably not.
So you guys were just talking about concerning things on the internet. There was a concerning thing that I noticed yesterday that needs to be addressed, and we're going to do it right now. So yesterday, we talked about Von Miller. I asked James
Yes.
Palmer. I asked Todd Davis. I asked
kinda
our
wanted to
guy
see you
Baldy. You want to ask what?
I want to keep going.
I asked Baldy, how concerned should the Broncos be about facing Von Miller this year? He's Von frickin' Miller. We know how good he is, but he's coming off the season-ending injury last year. He's only played in a couple of games this year. He doesn't have any sacks yet, but all three of those guys said concerned, very concerned. Like, I even tried to make it like, oh, dude, the Broncos have the edge because Garrett Bowles has got nope. Von Miller has the edge in this game, and so I'm like, okay, I'm scared of what Von Miller could do this game. So we put the poll out on Twitter after the show. How concerned are you about facing Von Miller on Monday Night Football? We had extremely concerned, somewhat concerned, and not concerned. Extremely concerned, 14% of people. Somewhat concerned, 41% of people. Not concerned about facing Von Miller this week, 45% of people. The majority of people are not concerned about going against Von Miller. That makes me even more concerned. Where are you guys? Are you guys with the majority here?
No, I mean,
No.
I posted yesterday just like a meme about the Broncos playing against Vaughn, and like there was a lot of sentiment of just like, oh, I miss Vaughn, blah blah. But there was a lot of people who were like, he sucks now. I don't miss him at all. I'm glad he's not on the Broncos because he can't play anymore. And I'm like, would not recommend.
Yeah.
Would not recommend. Now, he has not statistically done anything so far this year.
No.
But
When did he start playing? 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks?
3, I think.
3.
Yeah.
But a motivated Vaughn going up against his former team on Monday Night Football, you have to be concerned. It would be irresponsible to not be concerned. Mm-hmm. Now, would I be surprised if he gets if statistically he just stays on the same track? It's like, okay, maybe he just doesn't have it anymore. Not exactly. I wouldn't be shocked. But you have to be sitting there saying, okay, well, it's still like this is Von Miller we're going against, and even if he just has a little bit left in the tank, he's certainly going to be emptying it out, going up against the Broncos on Monday Night Football.
You know what concerns the hell out of me is hearing Todd Davis, a former teammate of Von Miller, good friends, say Von is going to be unbelievably motivated for this game.
Yep.
Maybe it's just because Todd knows Von really well, or maybe there's a reason he believes that. And we've seen what a motivated Von Miller can do when he gets in to the end of moments of games, when he's the most motivated in games, when he gets into the playoffs, whether it was 2015, whether it was 2 years ago when he was with the Rams, he just tears things up. So if the Broncos are down in a 1-score game with 2 minutes left and Russell Wilson's dropping back to pass, I think the game's over. I don't think the Broncos have a chance because I think Von Miller is going to end the game. Not because Russ, but just I think because of Von Miller is going to end the game. So I think the Broncos have to be up with 2 minutes left or they're not winning this game.
Yeah. So I was working on another thing. I will just say that...
You're already transcribing your JaQuan quote
no,
from Pat?
I'm not transcribing my JaQuan quote from Pat. You would hear that. There would be
true.
sound. I'm
That's
not...
true.
Yeah. 45.4% of people, extremely wrong. 40.7% of people, somewhat wrong. And 13.8% of people, not wrong. Because you should be extremely concerned. Like, it's just insane. How could you not be scared? This is Von's Super Bowl. Unless he actually goes to another Super Bowl, as he often does.
Wouldn't he become the first player to ever win a Super Bowl with 3 teams?
Yep.
Uh,
Which, when he signed with the
Goodness.
Bills, it's like,
Yep.
he's got a shot. And now the Bills are 5-4.
What is up with the Bills?
I don't know. And the crazy thing, week 1, it was like, oh my God. Even after the game, Josh Allen's like, after he throws 3 picks, they lose to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers. He's like, I don't know what happened. It's just like last year, I wasn't able to get out of the rut. Then they go out and have 3 incredible games. They blow every team out, including the Dolphins right after they blew out the Broncos. And it's like, okay, the Bills are back. Past 5 games, they're 2-3.
Wow.
2-3.
I bet on them the other night because it's just like, oh, give me a really good quarterback as an underdog in prime time. Like, sign me up. And then it's just like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Why do they look like this?
Yeah.
okay, so somebody in the chat said that you and Quinn are voice
Okay,
twins.
did you just pull up?
Yeah. Can you play the video?
Yeah.
Good job, Hank. You were doing something good over there.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to spell cute.
Yeah, I mean, like, time of possession is huge. Getting the snaps and, constantly, running the ball is a really big part of this game in general. And so, it allows us to keep continuing to build confidence, in between every single play. As a group on the O-line, we're talking about how the combos felt, or, hey, if
Look at his
he's doing
hands.
this, let's do that. It's a constant, game, in the trenches. And so it's been a lot of fun to work through those together.
When you guys said
I can hear some cadence similarities,
Yeah.
but it is so
I heard a lot of wind.
yeah.
It was
true.
a windy day yesterday.
But just like the beard, also. I mean, the facial hair
Should
is
I
like
bring in the dreads?
do the opposite of how we've ever known you.
Yeah, I just don't think so.
Has anyone known you at this company without that hair?
Ooh.
Yes.
You had long hair at the very
Not
beginning.
long hair. I just had a different hairstyle.
Okay, because that quickly changed though.
Yeah. Yep. This one is probably for life.
Wow, you
We
found
need
it.
we need some sort of bet. Like, if Quinn wins some award, we all just grow out dreads.
No.
It's like,
Wow.
well, if you really want to just say no,
MVP.
then MVP is that's our line. It's like
He
Super
wins
Bowl
MVP,
MVP doesn't
I
do it.
will
Like,
get dreads.
Pro Bowl in a Super Bowl this year. Does that do it?
No.
What
Uh-uh.
would happen? How would a guard win MVP?
I don't know.
It's not possible.
Like, you almost need to have, like, a massive package of trick plays.
A massive what?
I'm sorry. But, like,
That is a good start.
it's like if somehow you get,
Right.
like, he gets, like, 4 touchdowns.
Nope.
And also, you know what it is? You also need, like, a tush-push sort of thing where he gets the ball.
No. What if, okay. Imagine, like, the Incredible Hulk plays football.
Okay.
And so, like,
Wow.
it's so very clear that this gigantic
Yeah.
human is on the field. And instead of just giving them the ball, they just decide we're going to play him at guard. And that's how you win MVP. Like,
Yeah.
he just runs down the field, just smacks everyone. They fly out of the way. The
Exactly.
running back just walks into the end zone.
So
Like,
you literally can't be human to do
Yep.
this. Yeah.
You're like-
That
you're
also would be a hilarious coaching decision.
it would be.
It would be. You just, like, consistently just, like, pancake the first guy, like, kind of, like, help out with a double team with, like, a shove, then just
Yeah.
take on another guy, and there's run for, like, 9 yards of pop behind you every single time.
I like to imagine, like, Mike Munchak as the head coach of this team. And he's just like, I see you as a guard. Let's get you in there. And everyone else is like,
Derrick Henry,
dude,
go to guard.
no one can tackle it. Just give him the ball. He's like, no, let's just do it this way.
Wow. I do, now that I think of it, we need to find a way to get Quinn Miners the ball.
I'm in.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to do it.
Has anyone ever tried an end around, but to an offensive lineman?
I think you probably run more vertically than horizontally, I guess.
But imagine, like, it looks like he's just pulling, and then it just he gets the ball. And
Oh,
he's-
yeah.
Wow.
It'd be like, you'd have to be like shotgun, and you have to snap, step pause, pull, and then you hand it off. And
Right. Well, I think it's like you're making it look like you're gonna pitch it, and then you go, wow, and then you hand it inside.
So it's a different version of the little flip play in the red zone area where you flip it to someone underneath instead of tossing it outside.
Kind of, yeah.
I like that. Could you?
It's only cool if it works.
Oh, I was gonna say all I can think of, and all any coach, play caller can think of, is like think about how much Rich Scangarello
Yep.
was roasted for starting his career with the Broncos with a Noah Fant
End around.
end around. That what was a 2-yard loss, 3-yard loss?
Might have even been more.
Maybe even more. Could you imagine if you did that with a guard
Yeah.
and it ended up, I mean, best case scenario for a worst play is like a 5-yard loss. Could you imagine if the guard fumbles it or
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah.
exchange is messed up? Oh my gosh, you are never letting that down unless you like win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
usually I wouldn't put somebody on blast publicly like this, but Nick is doing our clips, right?
Yep.
He
Oh,
posted
jeez.
he posted the clip of Pat talking about Justin Jefferson. Tagged Justin Jett instead, who was the best actor in the 2023 Ad Duff Awards, which is an adult film.
No.
Yeah, he's got 168,000 followers.
Did he interact with it?
Honestly, you should probably just leave it up.
Yeah. Whoops.
Do we think Pat can shut him down?
Shout out Nick.
While we're on the subject, I want Zach to react in real time to the first video that made the Timberwolves Brazil account
Okay,
go
cool.
viral.
Yep.
So here you go, Zach.
Oh
That's where
my
that
gosh,
came
you
from.
are
Yes.
kidding me.
Oh, I didn't know that's where that came from. Oh.
He doesn't even want to look at it. He looked
Yeah.
away immediately.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, that was something. That was
And that,
just many people have noticed that wrong at.
I think we should leave it up. It's like a Zac Stevens typo. Like you just leave it
It
up because
is.
it gets more interaction.
Yeah, definitely. Have people caught on?
The
Well,
only
I
thing
just
is, like,
got
if
the-
you click on the profile, is it not safe for work?
I mean, I've only
We
like
need you to do this work for us, Henry.
the top of the bio is like 18 and like a slash through it.
Okay.
So I'd guess that you can't be 18 or over is what that means.
Someone needs to take that picture of Henry yesterday that got tweeted of him looking at his computer.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed because somebody responded, wrong profile, fellas, LMAO.
Well, it's already been changed. No, it has not been changed. Has it been
There
changed?
it
Has it
is.
been changed? Yeah, okay. It's been changed.
Lame. We should have left it up. You should have had to.
I took a screenshot at least.
Yeah,
It's
it's
permanent.
very clear when you click on the profile.
Is
All
it?
right,
Yeah,
send
yeah,
me
yeah.
a
Nobody-
screenshot at least.
Oh,
Not of the profile. Of
No,
the
not of
tweet.
the profile.
Okay.
I still have it's still there.
I'm just shook
Oh,
from all
boy.
of that. Seeing what you just.
There was like
Wow.
Nick is shook. It's hilarious to me.
He runs down here immediately.
Apologizes live.
Hopefully Broncos Country is not doing that on Monday night, apologizing for Vaughn for discounting him.
That would be
and
a
what
shame.
he can do. It would,
Yep.
because that would be bad news. But if you want to make some money on this game, go check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR when you sign up in order to get $200 instantly in bonus bets when you place a $5 bet on anything. You can place a $5 bet on anything, and they're going to give new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly. Check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app to get in on this deal where we've got just an awful Thursday night game. Who do you guys like? Bears. Justin Jefferson is doubtful to play. They're a 3-point favorite.
Is Justin Jett going to play?
I doubt it. He's
Or no,
probably
did I
busy.
say Justin Jefferson? I meant Justin Fields.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Justin Fields. Yeah, not to be confused with Justin Jett.
Or Justin Fields.
Or Justin. Yeah, you know that's out there. Justin Fields is...
Justin Side.
Wow, that goes back to that
God.
Brazil account. The playing against the Panthers, they're a 3-point dog. Who do you guys like? You got the flag thrown on you.
I'll just say I'm going to the Avs game tomorrow night. So
You're just gonna stay away.
count me out for this
I
one.
went to the
Wow.
Avs last night. It was electric.
Yeah,
Had to kill a 7.5-minute penalty. It was crazy.
that was
Good
I guess
job.
they didn't really
ridiculous.
kill it, but they also scored on it. Anyways,
Yeah.
Justin Fields not playing.
Doubtful. Doubtful.
Okay, so
yes,
that's
no,
Give me the
he's not
that's good news for the
Panthers.
Bears.
Give me the
So you get
Panthers.
plus 150 though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean-
you get plus money.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That's why I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Bryce Young,
I wouldn't take it if Fields is playing though.
an honor of Pat, roll tide, and check out our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up to get this offer. And you must be 21 or older. Let me read this. Ready, guys? Must be 21 or older. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, Louisiana. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Real quick little update on the whole Justin Jefferson Twitter account saga. Saga.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
That's a tough one for me too.
Not to be confused with Saka.
We have updated the post, and by we I mean a friend Nick over there, to at Justin Jeffer-him, who is a verified profile account on Twitter, nearing 1,000 followers.
Nick!
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the Justin Jefferson... Could you imagine if the Justin Jefferson had 998 followers?
Jay Jettas.
No, it's Jay Jets.
How about Justin Jeffer-him?
I'm so sad that we missed out on the.
It's not verified. It's not verified. Yeah.
Most
doesn't-
good accounts aren't.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pay.
I love that.
Jeez, our social media manager can't figure this out.
I'm so sad that we missed out on the opportunity of Justin Jet X quote tweeting us.
I don't even want to know. It still
Like,
bothers me.
I'd like to see Pat lock me down.
It still bothers me that in his bio,
Justin
there's
Jeffer-him.
there's like an emoji that's an 18 that's crossed out. That means you can't be 18. It should be, yes, you have to be 18.
In Justin Jefferson's actual account?
No, in Justin Jet's account.
Yeah, so his actual account.
Friend of the program,
I'm so
Justin
confused.
Jet.
I'm so confused.
No, Justin Jet is the first person we tagged who is not Justin Jefferson. Justin Jeffer, him is the second guy who's also not Justin Jefferson. Still looking for the update on what his Twitter handle is. It's there now, okay.
So what is it? What's his real one? How
Jay
far?
Jett is too, but his name's not in his bio at all or anything. His name is Jay Jets with a J.
Oh.
And then his name is Jay Jett as it says Minnesota Viking 18. This is like.
Yeah,
Yep.
274,000 followers.
Sounds like a football player.
Jay Jetta.
And would you look at that? It's
And you
clearly
thought
him
like
in the profile picture.
Justin Jet, he plays the X wide receiver.
I saw.
Wow. Oh, instead of
18's his
X-rated.
number.
Yeah.
18, it means 18 or older.
Oh, I'm so happy this happened while I was on the show.
This is
my
great
gosh.
news.
Okay, let's get to the blind swordsman. Says in a super chat, I went to a concert for Halloween. Went as a starving college student with 2 kids. I loved all of the guys' costumes. Jerry and Pat were the best.
Is that the joke? Is that he went in as himself?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah, probably.
Well, good luck.
Well, no, it already happened.
I just mean in the future.
Oh, in the future, yeah.
If
oh, that's
there
true.
are
If
starving
you are
college
starving,
student with
yeah,
2
it's
kids.
True. It's true. Yeah.
Do we only have 70 likes yet here?
No, 69.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice. Very.
What's
fitting.
up with that? First of all, Pat Surtain's on the show.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
means
Good point.
we have plenty of football talk. We've
Yeah.
had like the best podcast in a while, according to the chat. Outside of that, 70 likes.
I also just got a text from a random number that says, "Hey Diana, it's Joan. Let's go golfing tomorrow."
Wow. Do you
Wow.
think they have a wrong number intentionally, or do you think this is a spam?
It does seem like a spam. If I thought it was an accidental thing, I would respond like, "Hey, sorry, this isn't Diana, but I'm down to golf."
But that's exactly what the spam would want you
I
to
know.
do.
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they know me.
Right. Or they're like, oh, sorry, but I am in town right now. Do you want to meet up? Give me your
Yeah.
social security number.
Right,
And
right,
say,
right.
well, no,
Ooh.
I think this is taking a weird turn right
Right.
now.
It's true.
Yeah, like tagging the wrong @ on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm glad
nice.
that Tyson is here saying the off-topic pods are the best because I just know the YouTube comments are gonna be like, every time RK's on here, the show is so dumb.
But see, those are the people we're trying to weed out anyway.
Fair.
But
They
see,
don't
we-
belong here.
We also just had like real good football talk. I
Oh,
mean, we
yeah.
had the Broncos' best player.
We did,
on.
we did.
Oh yeah, real good football talk meaning the best football player alive, potentially like take away positional value.
Yeah.
Potential best football player alive on the podcast for 30 minutes.
Yep.
Pretty good for football
It was,
talk, if you
it
ask
was.
me.
I'd say so.
All right.
Is that it?
Nice little balance.
That's it. We're done.
I think-
No more
okay,
chats?
we
I think
should.
that's it.
Can we should all have like just one more football take, so it isn't all nonsense for the second half of the podcast.
Ooh.
We talked about Von Miller.
We did.
We did, yeah.
My football take is the overcorrection to passing is coming around and running the ball is about to become in vogue again.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Led by the Broncos?
The Broncos are on the forefront.
The Broncos and the Titans, and especially as they transition to Will Levis.
I hope Will Lutz isn't their quarterback.
Even more so if it's I got to tell you what. Sean Payton, anytime he gets an opportunity, he goes out of his way to say how damn good Will Lutz is and how important he is to this team. Just yesterday, he was talking about how the team's improved, and he goes, well, we're running the ball more. The defense is stopping the run more. And I gotta say, the kicking game, we're just winning. And I can't. And he said, I can't tell you how big of a deal that is that we win that department nearly every single week.
Yep.
And it's just him being like, I got the right guy.
I do think that like there's some people who like you coach hard and say like you're a piece of shit, you're terrible, and then he goes and like goes to the workout room and does all of his things or whatever.
motivated by it.
Exactly. And there's other people who you just need to like prop
Love
up a
up,
little bit.
yeah.
And a kicker who's had like confidence problems in the past that he's been open about. I do think that that's what's happening. I think it's like, Will, we really love you. We're not worried about anything. We love you. We love you. We love you. Just go do you. Like you're doing great. Like you're you know.
Nick, can you clip this part and then tweet it? Just don't accidentally tag Willie Nuts instead of Will Lutz.
Well, we know Sean's on Twitter sometimes. Maybe Sean would correct or would notice the error.
That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
Wow.
He'd be like, "Congrats, Will, on the new gig."
What's your football take?
Quinn Minor should be a Pro Bowler.
Ooh, good one.
And honestly, I don't even think it should be a
Dreads if he is?
conversation. No, not unless it's a group decision.
What about beard dreads?
Does Todd have to cut his? He does the opposite.
He has to donate his to us.
Wow. Which one would be tougher, for us to grow dreads or for him to cut his?
Like,
Definitely growing.
Personally,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of work has gone into that, and he actually likes them, because they're sick.
Counter argument: you can cut them in about 5 minutes. It takes years to grow them.
That is true.
It's true.
Harder physically,
Right.
easier mentally.
Emotionally. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've all seen what Quinn does in the running game. He's insane. And in the passing game, he hasn't given up a sack. So when you combine those two things, he's one of the 3 or 4 best guards in the NFL.
The Broncos' offensive line is only going to get better if Sean Payton sticks to running the foot. That's what he built this offensive line for. He said, I'm building this offensive line to run the damn football. And when he does that, they're really good. When he makes the tackles specifically so far this year, Mike McGlinchey, when he strains him and makes them drop back to pass 45 times, that's when they struggle. So if we stick with this type of game plan of running the ball 40 times, dropping back 20 to 25 times, that's going to help everyone. And in the comments, Ivan says give Lloyd Cushenberry some love too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Lloyd's had his best year by far.
And give Sean some love. He's the one who's drawing up all these plays where you get Lloyd 15 yards downfield in space because that's what he's good at. It's all these screens and stuff where you get him out there. I know people at points have gotten a little annoyed with the screens. That's just how it works. If a play works, you're like, oh, do that every time. And then the one time it doesn't, you're like, no, never again. What are you thinking? But, Lloyd has also played really, really well.
My last football take is that Brendan Langley and Mike McGlinchey, I think, would get along great. Both don't like going backwards.
Wow, that was pretty
great
good.
Football take to end on after a pod of a lot of good football talk with
All good football talk.
some other shenanigans mixed in, and we're gonna be out of here. We've got a big day today at DNVR. We had Pat Surtain on earlier, Peter Forsberg, Joe Sakic joining the Avs show later today. So make sure to stay tuned in these seats.
Crazy.
Yeah. Warm it up, Hernry.
Oh, it's warm.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.